welcome back to FemNews. I'm Ellen Solaris.
And I'm Lauren Geiser. In this edition of FemNews, we're going to talk about CEDAW, an important UN treaty.
CEDAW stands for the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. It was adopted by the United Nations on December 18, 1979. CEDAW is the most comprehensive and detailed international agreement that seeks the advancement of women globally. It calls for action in almost every possible field, from education to healthcare to domestic relations. You get it. CEDAW sets a clear definition of discrimination against women. There's also a committee that has periodic reviews to see how things are progressing.
Wow, that sounds really awesome.
Yeah, it really is pretty awesome. Unfortunately, the United States hasn't ratified it.
That's right. The United States is one of the 8 countries that have not ratified CEDAW. The others include Iran, Qatar, Nauru, Palau, Tonga, Somalia, and Sudan.
Wow, those aren't exactly the countries that are really well known for being progressive in terms of women's rights. I'm a little surprised because the United States claims to be one of the world leaders in human rights and women's rights.
Well, President Carter signed CEDAW in 1979, which is one of the steps in ratification, but it sort of got lost during the Reagan era. In the following years, there were a few analyses of CEDAW, and it was blocked a few times in Congress. Some progress was made, but the treaty never really became ratified. The current administration supports ratification of CEDAW.
Huh. That's pretty confusing. I'm not a poli-sci major. I haven't really studied this. I don't really know how a treaty becomes ratified, like what happens, really anything about that.
Well, I am a poli-sci major, but I don't know either, so we should probably figure that out.
Yeah, who could we ask? We could ask Emily. I bet she knows.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Emily. Hey, Emily.
Hey, Emily.
Hey.
Are you busy right now?
No, not really.
You're never really busy.
Good, because we've been doing this story on CEDAW, and we were wondering, do you know how a UN treaty becomes U.S. law?
Yeah. Well, what happens is the UN General Assembly adopts the treaty, then the U.S. President signs it,
Okay.
which indicates that the U.S. intends to ratify it.
Oh.
Then the State Department prepares the legal report with reservations, understandings, declarations. Then the President sends it to the Senate to get their advice and consent.
Oh. That's really not as
Few
confusing
steps.
as I thought it was at all.
I'm not done.
Oh.
What happens next is the Senate Foreign Relations Committee holds hearings and reviews the State Department report, and after they look at it, they take it and they send it to the full Senate. And if it passes with a 2/3 vote, then the Senate returns it to the President. I mean, sometimes there are other requirements that have to pass it before it's returned to the President, but sometimes not.
So then the President signs it?
Exactly.
Oh. All right. Well,
Thank you.
thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
enjoy your book.
Thanks.
Well, that's sort of a complicated process.
Yeah, I guess so. I really had no idea about it. Although, it's worth it, ratifying CEDAW. I'm pretty shocked that the United States hasn't ratified it yet.
Me too. It makes a huge statement that we haven't even done it yet.
Yeah, I really hope it's ratified in this administration. CEDAW's over
Who
30
knows?
years old. If you want to be involved, call your senators and let them know that our country needs to ratify CEDAW ASAP.
And if you want more information about CEDAW, which you do, or other global women's issues, there are a lot, head over to www.feminist.org. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Have a great day.